solving equations using multiplication or division now. We did addition and subtraction in the previous lesson, so this is just an extension of what we were already doing previously, but now we're going to be undoing multiplication and division. So in the division property of equality, whatever I do on one side I have to do to the other. That's part of the equality. But if I'm trying to get rid of 3 times x, the opposite of multiply is divide. So I would divide both sides by 3, so x would equal 4. To show that algebraically, if I need to get rid of the number in front of x, which happens to be a, I divide both sides by a, so x would be b over a. And I couldn't do anything unless somebody came along and said, oh, a is this and b is that. Okay, so let's look at this example, example 1 here. What's happening to x right now? It's being multiplied by negative 7. How do you undo multiply? You divide. So we need to divide by negative 7. Not positive 7, right? You have to get it to cancel. You want it to be 1. A negative divided by a negative is a positive 1, so that's why we're doing that there. So we divide both sides by negative 7. 42 divided by negative 7 is a negative 6. And then to check our solution of negative 6, we plug it in for x, and a negative times a negative is a positive, so it checks. Okay? All right, so you are going to pause the video right here, and you're going to do number 1 and 2, and then come back and see how you did. All right, so here we go with number 1. It's x equals 9. It checked out. 45 equals 45. You had divided both sides by 5. And number 2, did you divide both sides by negative 8 to get y equals positive 7? And yes, that checks. Okay, so good work on that. Let's go on to the next page, which is the multiplication property of equality. And so now what's happening is we're dividing. X is being divided by 3. What is the opposite of division? It's multiplication. So to get this to cancel, I'm going to multiply by 3. And whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. What's the math that's really happening there? We have 1 over 3. The x is still there. It's just along for the ride. How do we undo 1/3? We multiply by its reciprocal, which is 3 over 1. So that's 3 over 3, which is 1. So that's the math that's really happening there. So on the left, these cancel. It was 1. We're left with x. And on the right, we have 3 times 12, which is 36. Algebraically, what would happen if we want to get rid of dividing by a? We multiply by a. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. So this would be a, b. And I don't even need a times dot there, because remember, when two variables are equal to or next to each other, it means multiply. Okay, so to show this in an example, what's happening to w right here? It's being divided by 11. The opposite of divide is multiply, so we multiply both sides by 11. 5 times 11 is 55. And we're going to check it over here to make sure it works. We rewrite the original equation, so it's 5 equals 55 divided by 11, which is 5. It works. So the solution is 55. It worked out. Okay, pause the video and do 3 and 4. Come back and see how you did. Okay, so in this one, m is equal to 44. We multiplied both sides by 4. 11 times 4 is 44, and to check it, 44 divided by 4 is 11. I'm actually doing the math in my head to make sure it works. It did. 11 is 11. And number 4, I multiplied both sides by 6, a positive 6 there. 6 times 9 is negative 9 is a negative 54, and it checks out. All right, that's the end of your notes. Fantastic job. Go on to the assignment.